Right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the 2021 version of the NFL Draft saw the New York Football Giants provide plenty of excitement as their general manager Dave Gettleman was wheeling and dealing. Now, prior to this draft, Gettleman never made draft day trades as a general manager, but in the first round, we saw him trade back after the Philadelphia Eagles moved one spot ahead of the Giants in order to take wide receiver Devonta Smith. Now, through trades with both the Chicago Bears and Miami Dolphins, the Giants now have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 fourth-round picks for next year's draft. Now, in the first round, we saw the Giants make the trade with the Bears. The Bears came up from 20 to 11. The Giants moved down to 20, and there the Giants took Florida wide receiver Kadarius Toney, who they feel can be an impact player from day one. We also saw the Giants in the second round take Georgia outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari. Now, you look at it, because I know that there are going to be people who questioned Gettleman because the Giants did not pick up any offensive linemen. They concentrated a lot on the defensive side of the ball. Aside from Ojulari, we also saw the Giants pick up a couple of cornerbacks, just to name a few. As you know, the Giants were solid on that side of the ball, but you know what? You can never rest on your laurels, and we've seen the Giants, even in free agency, they've attempted to make their defense better, bringing in a player like Adoree Jackson in the secondary. Now you draft a guy like Ojulari, another Georgia linebacker. Of course, it has not worked out so far for Lorenzo Carter with the Giants. He looked like he was showing signs of improvement last year, but then he got injured. So the Giants definitely need another spark from the outside linebacker position. They're pretty solid in the middle with the likes of Blake Martinez. They like what they have on their defensive line, but you definitely need a spark from the outside, an athletic backer who can both rush the passer as well as defend in space. Now, you look at this, the Giants had a solid draft. They've set themselves up for the future going into next year's draft, but you just have to ask yourselves, have they done enough to be a playoff team here in 2021? You look at it, it's all going to come down to what the Giants can do on offense. And most importantly, it's going to come down to the maturation of Daniel Jones, their young quarterback. Now, this is going to be the first offseason that Jones is going to have consecutive the same offensive coordinator for consecutive years in Jason Garrett. Jones has been unable to stay healthy. That's another big part of it. You look at the Giants last year, their passing game was terrible. They were 29th in the NFL in passing, while only the Jets, their neighbor mates at MetLife Stadium, were worse in total offense than Big Blue was last year. Their defense was good enough to get them to the playoffs, but they simply could not score points. And you saw this as a symptom, especially on the offensive side of the ball, of a young team that does not know how to win, because they had 4 losses by 4 points or less last season. And, you know, you got to try to find a way to get over the hump. You got to find a way to step up and make that play. And a lot of it comes down to what you can or cannot do on the offensive side of the ball. The Giants are also hopeful that Saquon Barkley will be able to come back as a healthy running back from that ACL injury last year. They're hopeful that Nate Solder can come back. Looks like they're going to move him to right tackle. And they are hopeful that the second-year offensive tackle, Andrew Thomas, can step up and be that guy at left tackle. All of these things are going to be very important. The Giants have plenty of talent on wide receiver. I think Toney can have an impact along in this Giants passing game, along with the likes of Kenny Golladay, who the Giants just picked up from the Detroit Lions as a free agent. Also, veteran Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. You know, he's had a case of the drops throughout his career. Maybe the presence of veteran tight end Kyle Rudolph will help him step up his game. The Giants have plenty of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Patrick Graham has shown that he has the goods to be what it takes in regards to being a quality defensive coordinator. Now it's just time for the Giants to take that next step. This is a very winnable division. I know that Dak Prescott is returning for the Dallas Cowboys, but you look at it, Washington, Philly, Dallas, and the Giants, they're all kind of right there with one another as being mediocre teams. So it's just a matter of which mediocre team is going to step up and take that next step, and the Giants definitely have their shot. You look at it, and, you know, like I said, Gettleman did have a decent draft, and he did set the Giants up for potential success in 2022 of the draft as well. But you just have to ask yourself, will next year's bevy of picks be used by Gettleman or his replacement? And you look at it like this. The Mara family has been very patient with Dave Gettleman. He is one of their own in regards to being a part of the Giants family. But the bottom line is, it has been a rebuild. And in his own words, it's taking longer than a lot of people would have wanted. And I think last year, the Giants showed their best promise that they have with Joe Judge leading the way as their head coach. I think Joe Judge is the real deal. And I think the improvement that the Giants showed under Joe Judge allowed Gettleman to keep his job because John Mara, that is, wants that cohesion between head coach and general manager. The Giants are right on the cusp. But the bottom line is this is still a young team and they have to find a way to win. And I know that there are veteran presences on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But these guys, especially on the offensive end, you have to find a way to take that next step. A lot of these guys on offense don't know what it takes to go out there and win in the National Football League. If you look on the offensive side of the ball, only Nate Solder, the starting offensive tackle, knows what it takes to win in this league, being a Super Bowl champion. And it's a situation where, hey, somebody's got to step up and make those plays. It's got to come from the quarterback position. Is Daniel Jones ready to do that? We'll have to wait and see. But the bottom line is this is Gettleman's guy. And Gettleman went out there and took Daniel Jones early on in the NFL draft a couple of years ago, and now it's time to put up or shut up. The parameters are in place for this Giants club to take that next step. We'll have to wait and see. But you know what? In a New York minute, things can turn around, and we know the patience or lack of patience there is from the New York fan base. So you know what, this Giants fan base, they've been sitting back watching their team struggle for so many years, and now they want to see the fruits of the labor. So it's definitely going to be put up or shut up time for this club in the 2021 season. So folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.